Is it enough that we have videos like Sky Chow's? Is it enough that you're expressing the opinions that thousands, if not millions, of people have already expressed? The only difference being you have a shaking stick figure in the middle of the video all throughout the 7.5 minute video. Is it enough to watch the video? Is it enough that this is an industry that's constantly getting shunned and disrespected by a bunch of big wigs that only know selling, business, profit, and not respect for human conditions? Is it enough that we have had this talk before where back in the 1940s tons of Disney animators and voice actors went on a strike because they didn't like the way Walt was treating them? Is it enough that in the 1950s Jack Warner, one of the original CEOs for the Warner Brothers studio, basically shuttered his animation studio and put all his money into 3D film, which is no more of a fad than Pog? Is it enough that day after day there is an industry stricken with fear because at any given moment their hobby is going to be taken out back and shot like a dog? Is it enough that we have to hear stuff from social media posts that claim that they stand with animation, but as soon as there's something new, something really new coming into the industry, everybody shuns it off as they talk about classic SpongeBob for the, 1825th time? Isn't it enough that we have a community that doesn't know what they're talking about? Is it enough that we frequently have protests from all sorts of workers? Is it enough that there's video after video of what some people like to call the union yaoi? Is it enough to have those shorts come out every time there's a threat? And is it enough that there's people that brush it aside and saying, has there ever been a studio that used AI? Instead of asking if there even should be such a thing. Is it enough that the creator of The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy has to sell his stuff like storyboards and personal Cartoon Network related purchases that he got just so he could pay rent or something? Is any of this enough? Is it enough to even make this video where I'm just talking about all these things and expressing, like I said, the exact same opinion that everybody else has expressed, and barely anybody takes into consideration? Is all of that enough to get the big wigs listening? Is it enough that there are people that constantly look at a sub-medium within a medium, a practically dying medium, Is it enough that so many people are turning to the indie animation department, and even then you need to have a strong recognition? Me personally, I don't feel like it's enough. No matter what we say or what we do, it's not going to be enough to get the big wigs at Hollywood and the big wigs over here in the United States of America to listen. I draw pretty much every day, and I feel like I've been doing so for the past 8 or 9 months. And no matter how much I draw, I'm probably not going to be getting any career in animation anytime soon. Not even a career in indie animation, which I feel like is just going to be playing the exact same game as corporate animation. I can't help myself from drawing every waking second of my day, or frequently. It's something I like. It's something that I like doing. It's something that I don't want to give up on. The only downside with all my drawings is that practically nobody cares. Basically, everybody on the internet has suddenly decided no need for artists anymore. We have AI. We can just punch in some words and a machine will do it for us. People will just go for mediocrity instead of effort. Last I checked, the average Looney Tunes cartoon by 1957, it took around 15 months and around 15,000 drawings from the time pre-production begins to the time when the final short is released. And that's been going, and the legacy of the Looney Tunes is truly held up by those 1,000 shorts and counting. And even then, it seems like there's no hope. Everybody's been trying to get the attention of Warner Brothers, and everybody's been trying to get their attention to release the stuff we want to see, which is animation. We couldn't care less about Barbie or Dune or even the Minecraft movie. People barely care any less about live action. They just want to see cartoons. And even then, they don't want to see new ideas, it seems. As far as I can tell, you could try to make a satirical song or a satirical cartoon about the state of animation that going on in the industry, the fact that it's being stabbed both in the front and in the back, and it still won't matter what you do. There's just gonna be some bigger guys in suits telling you, pack up your bags, you're not working for animation anymore. What else can be said at this point? What else can be said if talking about it barely gets you the results you wish? if you have to do strikes over and over and over again, and next thing you know, in less than 100 years, the story's gonna repeat on loop. A legacy of filmmaking is being shunned. And every day it feels like it's better, not easier, but better to just give up. Knowing that some corporations will gladly trade you in for a machine. I'll say this now because it's relevant, but I want to do something, even though it doesn't matter. I want to do something in relation to animation. Not my own cartoons in the cartoon sense, but in the sense of a webcomic. I think a week ago I had an idea for a webcomic about a robot that does work in the animation industry, but not in the ways you think. But I feel like in order to actually get philosophical with that idea, I need to dig deeper, and I don't feel like digging deeper because it's going to bring my mood down really low. It's going to make me realize that I should turn away from art forever. Not just because it won't gain traction. It's not just a matter of ordinary people seeing it. It's also a matter of being forced to hear from larger people. I'm in a rut, is all that I can say. I keep hoping time and time again that there's a good change coming for the animation industry. I don't think I've seen one successful thing from the animator strike that I think is still going on now. I mean, we could get treated to another short from the union, all we want. There's still gonna be some dipshits online being all smart-assy. Probably because people taught them that that's a good thing. I think we need to do a whole lot more than what we're doing right now to get capitalism to listen to people. We just don't know what exactly that something is. And besides, we know it's practically impossible. I was tempted to ask, I was tempted to include, so what's the point of bringing out that plan that wants to do more than strikes and making videos and trying to do satire. I don't know if we could go further to get some low-end guy in a suit to hear, because they have ears, obviously, but they're not using them. They're too stupid, single-minded. What can I say? I would finish this off with a message to not give up, but like all those questions I asked at the start, is that gonna be enough? There's probably some people that are going to tell you to just hold on and let good things transpire, but I think before you need to get hopeful, you need to just let out every ounce of your anger and your frustrations. Every single drop of tiredness that you feel from all these. I can't even call these corporate people people. You need to take out every single bit of anger at their ignorance before you can start thinking of ways. If you're looking for somebody that wants you to think positive about this whole situation, then keep looking for them first. Just understand that you need to let everything out. I'm not too sure about turning this small rant of mine into a safe haven for expressing those opinions, because I don't want to get my guard down even further. Get my hopes sent to the bottom, I meant to say. And it certainly isn't me saying that I'm going to be done with art for the rest of my days, because I know how long that statement's going to stand true. As in, it isn't effective immediately after I upload this. I'm not going to give up doing the thing that brought me here to begin with. I know there's that little kid version of me that is probably sitting there on the living room floor, drawing an image of Pac-Man and his ghostly crew celebrating the holiday season. I figured he would want me to keep going, because just by me looking at him, he could see somebody that likes doing art. I know he wouldn't want me to give up doing the one thing that he loves and consistently does. And I don't want to give that up for him either, but every once in a while it just feels hard. I was going to mention something about confronting that kid version of me and saying I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. But that would all have to come from me just throwing in the towel and saying, to hell with it, no art. So that's clearly what these big wig fuck ups don't want from me. It's clearly their goal to dehumanize artists as much as they possibly can. I'm still not going to give up my one forever desired hobby just because some thing is making it more impossible to do it, I guess. I needed to let it out. If you want to let it out, you can do a video of your own where you just express all your rants and anger. You can do that. I probably won't watch it because I don't want to bring my mood down even lower, and also because it's gonna be the same thing everybody else said. If you want to express what you want to express, then go right ahead. But as previously mentioned, it's probably going to take a lot more than just letting it out to get the idea to do something different. If you want to work for indie animation, then go ahead, be my guest. Considering I don't think old Wile E. Coyote and his plans to sue Acme, I don't think that's going to be coming out anytime soon. May as well make that happen from scratch. You'll need some vampire like David Zaslav to come in and shut your thing down. Just because he keeps thinking live action makes big bucks. And critics are either hypnotizing themselves or being hypnotized by the big wigs to agree. Like I said, it's probably better just to start from scratch if you want. One other thing crossed my mind. It's a popular slogan amongst plenty of these Union Yaoi videos. The whole animation is under attack. Which side are you on? I feel like that guy is saying that as if there's a split between people that hate animation and people that love it. Well, guess what, buddy? Everybody likes animation. What the hell do you think is the side they're on? Just like how America was birthed from Britain because of a few disagreements, like how this became a country from Britain, we might as well just create a new country, so to speak, for animation. We may as well turn United Kingdom of corporate animation to the United States of indie animation if we want to close the book on this, which feels like a never-ending debate. I think that's about all I have. I don't want to stall on any further. I know what I'm about to say may contradict with my entire long statement, but stay strong, soldier. Pick up that pencil every once in a while. We need more support. We need more People like you who managed to stay positive throughout it all. Don't forget to let out your anger every once in a while. That after so much time being happy, you start to come off as delusional. But yeah, that's all that Mike Bryan, has to say. To reiterate, stay strong, soldier. Keep drawing on. Imagine if I called you all my Henrys or my Steins after the main character from Bendy and the Ink Machine, because he's resilient. He never gave up on anything or something like that. I don't know. It's a dumb idea. Take care.